Thanks very much. Good afternoon to you, Gregor. How are you?
I'm very well. Apologies for our training session overrunning.
Not a problem, not a problem. I just want to start by asking you about Xander and Hamish. Obviously, it's a great honour to become a Lion, and to do so at Murrayfield would have been incredible for them as well. How disappointed are they? And I hope it's not tour threatening for either.
No, they shouldn't be. Xander, we were still hoping this morning would turn it around. He had a back spasm, I think, in the scrum session on Tuesday. And both him and the medics have been working really hard to get him fit for this weekend, but it wasn't worth pushing. He still felt some pain today, and it's the first game on tour, and we obviously now have three tight heads here. So the best decision for the tour party and for Xander is not to play this weekend. So disappointing for him. And Hamish too, just an accidental clash in the training session on Tuesday, but he was on the bike today, so that means that he's on the return to play protocol, so you just hope that goes through smoothly and he'll be available next week.
Gregor, a lot is spoken about how big an honour it is for the players to become Lions, but from a personal point of view for yourself, 24 years on, how does it feel to be wearing the badge again?
Yeah, it makes me feel very old when you mention 24 years. No, it's great. I think the buzz around this year's Lions and the selection announcement, for the players, that was one of the biggest things they can do. But we feel the same as coaches. Feel very excited and still do. Really enjoyed the first 2 weeks working with this group of players. It'll feel obviously like reality when we get to South Africa and the task that's ahead of us. But it brings back good memories. But it's a unique challenge for a coach and one that you dream of doing. So yeah, it's a real privilege.
And a lot of them were very young boys. Some of them weren't even around in 1997. But are they keen to hear stories and anecdotes from that tour? Because to this day, it's still one of the most iconic Lions tours.
Oh, I'm not sure if they're keen. Probably not. I hope they'll be keen to make their own history. But it has been good seeing the old faces from '97 popping up on interviews and podcasts. We had a reunion a few weeks ago, and a lot of the players and coaches were on that Zoom call. So yeah, it does bring back good memories. I've got a fellow coach with me who was my best mate on tour back in '97, and Neil Jenkins. So it's been great working alongside him.
And just one final question from me. I mean, you know, and Warren knows the importance of the camaraderie and the bonds that you build up, the jokes that you can have as a group together. Who's emerging already as maybe the butt of some of the jokes? Who's emerging as the main pranksters in the party? I know you've still got the extra voice to join.
Yeah, it's hard to tell just yet. I think Liam Williams has got that side in him. I've seen a few sort of messages on WhatsApp, and I could see him coming through. Bundyaki, I think he'll be a back, but yeah, they've not emerged fully yet. But they're a great bunch. They're getting on really well with each other. We've had a couple of social occasions, but outside the social occasions, you see them sitting after meals together. You obviously see them bonding on the training field. So yeah, they're forming that squad and togetherness very quickly.
Well, Liam and Bundy are the butt of the jokes, or they're the practical jokers?
Practical jokers. No one's really the butt of the jokes yet.
Yet. Good man, Gregor. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Gregor, just on Xander Fagerson, I mean, you've got a feel for him. Is this one of those that if it was a test match, he'd be playing, or is it a case that he would have to sit out regardless?
I would think we'd probably give him till as late as possible if it had been a test match, if he'd played for the team before and knew that missing a training session 2 days before wouldn't affect him too much, and would still hope that he'd recover in time for Saturday. But these are different circumstances. This is the first time this team has come together, and today's session was a really important one. And also, it's a long tour, so there's no need to push anybody that isn't 100%. That's why you have a squad, and it's bad luck for Xander and Hamish, given that we're playing in Scotland for the first time ever, I think. So I'm sure they'll be raring to go when we get to South Africa.
I was about to ask you about that because Warren spoke to us the other day about how he deliberately picked some of the Scottish guys to play in effect a home game, you've got to feel for them to miss out on a chance like this.
You do, yeah, and at least it's not missing out on a tour or missing out on a test match. Those are the big ones. Obviously, this means a lot to the players that get selected. The fact we're having crowds this weekend and in Scotland, but I'm sure they're delighted, or there's the silver lining in that they're not serious injuries and not missing playing for the Lions. And Xander and Hamish are in good hands to get ready for our next game.
A sea of red is normally a bad thing at Murrayfield. How much are you looking forward to seeing, well, if not a sea, then maybe at least a decent-sized river of red this weekend?
Oh, that'll be brilliant. The noise will be excellent. A lot of our players haven't played in front of crowds. I know crowds started coming back in England, but Scotland and Ireland, I believe, haven't had crowds yet. We certainly haven't played an international game for 12 months with crowds, so I think it'll be a fantastic atmosphere, and to see those red jerseys there will give us a big boost.
Spoken a lot this week about the difference in the challenge that Japan will pose as opposed to the South African teams. Is that maybe more of a forwards thing, though? For a back's perspective, is there much difference?
I think there's definitely differences in philosophies. You see Japan looking to retain more possession, looking to move the target a lot. In terms of their defence, there are a lot of similarities with South African defence. They do rush up out the line. They're very physical. They compete hard at the breakdown. So as I'm sitting here as an attack coach, it's actually really good preparation for what we're gonna face. For the defence side of it, it's a massive challenge. Probably a different challenge than we're going to face, but a challenge of making sure that we're alive to them moving the ball from anywhere in the field. The fact that they back their fitness. So yeah, it's a very tough game to start a tour, given that it is an international team, and the last couple of games that they played, they were up there with the best 8 teams in the world. So a real tough game for us, but one that will form those bonds quicker because we'll be tested this weekend.
And just finally, I know you've literally just got off the bus. About 20 minutes ago, the Japan score for the game was announced. Have you had a chance to flip your phone on while you're on the bus? Have you seen it? And if so, what have you made of it?
Yeah, it's a lot of players that were involved in the World Cup. Some new players that have recently qualified coming back in, but the spine of that team were those that were very successful in Japan. I think the midfield is the same as what we faced. Really aggressive and physical and dynamic back row. 6-2 split on the bench. So yeah, it's going to be a challenge for us because these are players that know their game, that worked very closely together over a long period building up to that World Cup, so they'll fit back into that really quickly. And we realise that this is a huge game for them too. To take on the Lions will be the first time in their history, and to get another scalp like they took off a couple of teams in the World Cup, it will be something they'll be motivated to do.
Thank you, Gregor.
Thanks.
Hi Gregor, Sarah Orchard here from 5 Live. I was just wondering, does Murrayfield hold any secrets that you as a Scotland coach have perhaps kept in your back pocket but are now prepared to share?
Probably not this time of the year, Sarah. I think January, February, the wind and the rain might hold some secrets about which direction is coming, but we're expecting better weather this weekend. I think Murrayfield is a great stadium when they have crowds are there. It really creates a fantastic atmosphere, and I'm sure there'll be noisy at the weekend. But yeah, it's like any other stadium. It's in really good condition. I know that, so that should mean faster rugby.
What has the difference made for you, looking at the backs, the contribution of Owen Farrell and Elliot Daly arriving this week?
Yeah, and Finn Russell as well. Yeah, those three have helped our sessions, first of all, because it gives us more numbers, so we can do things that maybe we were limited to last week. They're three quality players, very, very good on the ball. They talk a lot as well, so you'd hear them communicating on the field, but also in meetings and huddles. So yeah, they've added to the quality. But the quality is obviously there with right throughout the squad.
Another arriving Saracens player was Jamie George, who had sort of told us he might have been given a heads up about joining the social committee straight away. Have you seen any glimpses of that?
Probably the work's done behind the scenes. We see the product of that from our get-togethers. I think they arranged a FIFA championship. I'd walked into the team room yesterday, and Josh Adams was winning quite easily against Ali Price and someone else, Toby Faletau. So that was what was arranged on their day off. They've been quite active on their days off, playing golf, boat trips, some history trails. So yeah, they've made the most of this wonderful place we're staying in. We've had a couple of really good nights too together, and there's been a lot of singing. So I'm sure the players have all been involved in setting those up.
What have they been singing?
Well, we've got 4 songs. So each country had to nominate a song from their country. So we have Loch Lomond. Sander Fagerson was in charge of us. Wyn Jones, Callan Lan, hope I pronounced that right, from Wales. You'll Never Walk Alone was Courtney Law's contribution from the England squad, and Jack Coney was in charge of Ireland, so that was Wild Drover. So we've sung that a few times together.
Before I let you go and let someone else come in here, just on a slightly more serious note, with the news reports coming out of South Africa at the moment, Gregor, with the rising COVID cases, particularly where you will be heading next week, is that weighing slightly at the back of your minds? I appreciate any decisions are out of your hands, but how aware are you of that?
Yeah, we're aware. We obviously have talked a lot about the restrictions, the protocols we have to follow while we're here. And when we go to Scotland, they're going to just get that little bit stricter. And we're aware that South Africa, it will be different conditions. I'm sure our bubble will be much tighter than it has been here. I believe we'll be in hotels on our own. We have been double vaccinated. We are following all the protocols, and our players are used to that over the last 12 months. So it's a small sacrifice to pay to be able to do what we want to do, which is play for the Lions and deliver a winning Test series.
Thank you, Greg.
Thank you.
Hi, Gregor.
Hello.
Hello. I gotta take a drink.
I'm trying to hide my main sponsor there, like Ronaldo hiding his Coke.
Greg, I just wondered if you'd talk about the significance to you and the other Scots in the group, and then we get maybe to about Scottish rugby in general, how significant it is to have this game at Murrayfield on Saturday.
Well, it's great. I spoke to the players today about how proud I was that the Lions are playing in Scotland at BT Murrayfield. So to see that happening on Saturday will be great. Great for the Lions themselves having crowds back, but also for the people of Scotland and a number of supporters that will have came from Scotland. It will be great for those Scottish players. Two less than at the beginning of the week, but I'm sure they'll be even more motivated running out there, knowing their families are there. But I believe a lot of the players' families from England, Ireland and Wales are coming up to the game. So for those that are making their debuts as Lions, it will be a special moment. And to do it at home makes it even more special.
Can you see in the guys who will be winning their first Lions caps on Saturday what it's going to mean when they're told that they're going to be part of that matchday 23? Is there something quite special and unique about that as well?
Yes, and I think getting the jersey, running out behind the or seeing the line on the side of the field, all those things that people would have watched before. We've got a few players that have been on previous tours, so it brings back those memories for them. Yeah, it is special. It's unique. You don't get I don't think there's any sport you really get a chance to to play for something more than your home nation, and that's a line. So yeah, I'd imagine that it'll be a big moment for them, and they'll be hugely motivated to not just take in the moment, but go out there and make sure that they do their best with that jersey on.
The last one from me. I know a few of the lads like watching the football. Has there been much banter between the respective England, Wales and Scotland fortunes at the Euros?
Yeah, there has, but obviously you'd be like me, Jamie, the other night. We just kept quiet. We were out for a meal, and I came in, and there was a football on the TV, and the restaurant owner was saying, well, we've got the England game on, so we're going to have to switch over. Obviously there was a lot of other people in the restaurant that wanted to watch the England game. So literally as he switched it over to the Scotland game, within 5 seconds we were 1-0 down. So I just kept my head down for a while. And in the second half I told him to keep the England game on. But it was good the other night. It was really good on Friday night with England-Scotland game on. And obviously the Wales guys, we've got a lot of Welsh players and management here. They're into the next round. So we'll support one of the other two teams now.